For 5 years, she kept a secret that destroyed everything we built. And the truth finally came out today. I saw it. I heard everything. Her new boyfriend looked confused. "What's going on?" he asked. Alina didn't respond. She just stood there, the book trembling in her hands, her mouth slightly open, like all her words had vanished. I stepped closer. "Still want me to sign those papers?" I asked quietly. She didn't move. She just stared at Ethan like she was truly seeing him for the very first time. Then, the little boy standing beside her suddenly looked up at me and said something that made the entire room go silent. But before he could finish his sentence, my phone buzzed. One message, one photo, and everything I believed about that night 5 years ago changed in an instant. With shaky fingers, I picked up my phone. My eyes shifted from Alina's pale, frozen face to the screen glowing in my hand. The message came from an unsaved number, but it needed no explanation. It was a single photograph. Alina, in a hospital gown, holding a newborn baby. The timestamp in the corner showed it was taken 5 years ago, exactly 2 days after she disappeared. Ethan looked over my shoulder and frowned. "That's the hospital near Grandpa's house," he said. "The one we searched for weeks. Remember?" Alina flinched. Her flashy boyfriend finally lost his temper. "What is this, Alina? What's going on?" he demanded. Still she said nothing. She kept staring at the image on my phone like it had crawled out of a nightmare. Then Ethan broke the silence with words that hit like a blade. "You told everyone Dad abandoned you, that he ran away when you got pregnant. But that's not the truth, is it?" Alina's eyes snapped toward me, now full of guilt and fear. I didn't say a word. I just looked at her and waited. Her lips trembled. I was scared," she whispered. "I thought if I left without saying anything, it would be easier." "Easier for who?" "Snap. You vanished. Thought you were dead. I searched for weeks, calling your friends, your family. And all that time you were what? Hiding in some hospital, starting over." The little boy next to her, still holding her hand, tugged gently at her sleeve. "Mommy, is he my dad?" The room fell silent. Alina knelt down beside the boy and gently held his face in her hands. Her voice cracked as she spoke. "No, sweetheart, he's not." The boyfriend's face twisted in confusion and anger. "What the hell do you mean I'm not his father?" Alina looked like she wished the floor would swallow her whole. Ethan stepped forward again. "He's my brother, isn't he, Mom?" She didn't reply, but her silence was the answer. The boyfriend stepped back like she had slapped him. "You said you got pregnant after you left him. That's what you told me." Alina reached out, trying to grab his arm. "Jack, please." I thought. But he pulled away. "So this was all a lie. Everything." He turned to me, eyes burning. "You didn't know." I shook my head. "Not until now." He let out a bitter laugh and stormed toward the door. "You're all insane. I'm done." The door slammed shut behind him, the sound echoing through the apartment like a final judgment. Alina stood still, holding her younger son tightly. The truth was finally out. "You told the court I abandoned you," I said quietly. "You got full custody. You destroyed my reputation. You made sure I couldn't find either of you." "Why?" Tears filled her eyes. "Because I didn't want to be forgotten," she whispered. "You were always with your father, working, chasing your dreams. I felt invisible." I stepped back stunned. "So your solution was to ruin me?" She didn't reply. But Ethan did. "If you wanted to be remembered, Mom, congratulations. I'll never forget any of this." She broke. Tears streamed down her face as she sank onto the couch, hugging the boy tighter than ever. But it wasn't over. Not yet. Because just then, Ethan turned to me and said, "Dad, there's something else I never wrote in the journal." And what he said next shattered everything I thought I knew about the night she left. A chill ran down my spine as I looked into Ethan's eyes. His voice had changed, lower, heavier. This wasn't just a child talking. This was someone who had carried a secret for far too long. He took a deep breath. That night. The night she left. I wasn't asleep like she thought I was. Alina's head shot up. I heard everything, he said quietly. I saw her packing. I saw her crying. But she wasn't alone. My throat tightened. What do you mean? He asked. Ethan looked at me. His voice now trembling. There was a man. He came in through the back door. She gave him something, a bag. And I heard her say, "We have to leave now. He'll come looking if we wait till morning." Alina whispered. No, Ethan, stop. But he didn't. She told him, "I'm not telling him about the baby. He doesn't deserve to know." And then, they left together. My chest burned. She left with someone. Ethan nodded. I never saw his face, only heard his voice. He called her Lena. He said, "You're doing the right thing. He'll only hold you back." I turned to Alina, my fists clenched, barely able to control my voice. "So that's the truth. You didn't just walk away from me. You ran off with another man. Lied to everyone. Told the court I hurt you. Got full custody. And then raised my son like I never existed." Her face was soaked in tears now. "I was scared," she whispered. "Okay. I was foolish. He made me believe you'd destroy everything, that you'd fight for custody and I'd lose. I thought I was protecting myself." Ethan lowered his eyes. "You weren't protecting me, Mom. You took everything from me." The younger boy beside her, still lost in all the chaos, tugged gently at her sleeve. "Mommy, is he my real daddy?" She didn't answer. But I did. "Yes," I said. "Yes, I am." The words hit hard. Final. Alina cried harder, rocking the little boy in her arms. "I wanted to come back so many times," she sobbed. "But every time I thought about it, I remembered the lies I told. The court orders. The things I made people believe about you. I thought if I came back, you'd hate me." I shook my head slowly. "You think this is about hate. It's not. It's about choices. And you made yours." Then Ethan spoke again, his voice cutting through the silence. "But there's one more thing." I turned toward him, startled. "What is it?" He pulled out his phone and opened a recording. He pressed play. The room was suddenly filled with a man's voice, calm, deep, and hauntingly familiar. "She won't say anything. I've handled her. If he ever shows up, we say he abandoned them. The court won't question a crying woman with a baby." Alina's eyes widened in horror. How did you get that?" she whispered. Ethan stared straight at her. "I found your old phone, Mom. The one you thought you lost." She collapsed forward, her head in her hands. My hands trembled. A voice. I knew it. It belonged to someone I trusted. Someone from my own blood. And suddenly, all the broken pieces began falling into place. Before I could even speak, Ethan looked at me again and whispered, "Dad." It was Uncle Ray. The room spun. For a moment I couldn't breathe. Uncle Ray. My older brother. The man who raised me after our father died. My business partner. Ethan's godfather. The one person I trusted without question, especially after Alina left. I staggered back, leaning against the wall as flashes of the past overwhelmed me. Ray comforting me when she disappeared. Ray helping me search the hospitals. Ray telling me over and over that she wasn't worth it. Every time I wanted to keep looking, he told me to stop. Said I was chasing a ghost. Told me I needed to move on. He knew. All this time he knew. Alina buried her face in her palms, sobbing uncontrollably. He promised he'd protect us. That if I did what he said, everything would be okay. I was shaking now, but not from sadness. From rage. Ethan placed a hand on my arm. I didn't know what to do with that recording. I was scared no one would believe me. But when I saw her walk in today with that kid, like nothing ever happened, I had to say something. Clenched my jaw. He manipulated her. He ruined everything. And then he sat in my house for years, telling me to move on. Alina looked up, her voice trembling. You don't understand. I was 23. He made me believe you'd take Ethan from me. He said you were going to marry someone else. That your family never wanted me. I stared at her, completely hollow. My family. Ray was my family. She hesitated, then said something that cut deeper than anything else that night. He told me, you were the mistake. I couldn't take it anymore. I grabbed my phone and started to dial. Alina jumped up. Wait, please don't. I looked at her. Why? Scared he'll finally have to answer for what he did. I'm scared of what he'll do if you confront him, she whispered. He's not the same anymore. He's dangerous. And just then my phone buzzed again. New message. No name. Just a number I didn't recognize. You should have stayed quiet. Now it's too late. Attached was a live photo of me standing right there in my living room right now. My blood ran cold. Slowly I turned toward the window. Across the street, parked quietly, was a black SUV. Tinted windows. Engine running. Someone was watching us. Had been the whole time. Ethan stepped behind me, clutching my sleeve. Dad, what's happening? I stared out the window, heart pounding. We're not safe. In that moment, I realized something chilling. Ray wasn't finished. He was just getting started. I yanked the curtain shut and locked the door. My heart thudded like a war drum. That SUV wasn't just a warning. It was a message. He knew I knew. And if he was watching us now, it meant one thing. He wasn't afraid anymore. Alina clutched her younger son, trembling. You don't know what he's capable of. After I left you, I tried to leave him too. But I couldn't. He always found me. I turned to her, my voice full of fury. You had 5 years to come back. 5 years to tell the truth. She looked shattered. He said if I ever contacted you, he'd ruin your life. He'd take Ethan, destroy your business, frame you for assault. I believed him. Ethan's voice was quiet but steady. Well, now you've both got me. And I'm not a scared kid anymore. I looked at him. There was something different in his eyes now. A fire I hadn't seen before. I saved the original recording, he said. It's backed up to the cloud. If anything happens to us, it goes straight to the police. Alina's face twisted in panic. No. That'll just make him more desperate. Good, I said coldly. Let him be scared for once. Just then my phone rang again. This time the name showed up on the screen. V. I stared at the screen, the silence in the room thick and heavy. Answer it, Ethan said. I tapped the green icon and put the call on speaker. His voice came through casual, almost amused. Well, look who finally put the puzzle. Always were slow with these things, little brother, Ray said, his voice smug. My grip tightened around the phone. What do you want, Ray? He chuckled. Still so dramatic. I just want peace. You, her, the kids. No reason to stir up old ghosts. You lied to me. You stole my family. His tone changed. Suddenly sharper, colder. I rescued her. From your miserable obsession with being the hero. She needed someone who actually saw her. And she saw me. Alina gasped. You told me he cheated. You said he didn't want me. Ray ignored her completely. So what now, he sneered. You think you'll run to the cops. That recording won't hold up in court. It's barely audible. And that custody order. Still valid. You'll lose everything again. Ethan stepped forward. His voice cutting through the air. I'm not a kid anymore. I can testify. Ray's voice lowered. Soft but deadly. Oh, Ethan. You really think that'll help you sleep at night? Knowing what I'll have to do to keep the truth buried. That was it. I ended the call and looked at them both. We're leaving. Right now. Alina's eyes widened. Where? I didn't hesitate. Somewhere he'd never expect. Because if Ray wants a war, then that's exactly what he's getting. But what he didn't know was that he wasn't the only one with secrets. Because years ago, after Alina left, I started something. something I never told anyone. And now, it was about to save our lives. Thank you for being part of this journey. If this story moved you, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to Betrayed and Broken. Many who enjoy these stories haven't subscribed yet. And by subscribing, you're not just following a channel. You're joining a community that values deep, emotional storytelling. Let's keep exploring these powerful stories together. Hit the notification bell so you never miss what comes next. And share your thoughts in the comments below. Your feedback means everything.